So now, where are we with this? I have some questions. Everybody should have their worksheet. We're going to also network with each other. So please, we just want to make sure we're challenging you first, okay? What 3 activities in your life or business consume most of your time, but provide the least amount of value? And why do you continue to prioritize them? Take a second to answer that question. There is something that you guys are doing that is not efficient, that you could delegate. And if you need to delegate, that's okay, right? Maybe it's networking or whatever, and you want to get another representative. Okay, well, what would it be for you to get account executives? What would it be for you to get an account executive so you could do what you love to do, okay? And your account executives could do what they do, okay? What would that be? All right? And so you have a couple other questions here. If you had to identify the single most important action that would move your goals forward today, what would it be and why aren't you focusing on it? And when was the last time that you felt truly fulfilled by something that you accomplished? And what made this different from posting or seeking external validation? This is yummy. It's delicious. I love this stuff. I love it, I love it, I love it. So we're going to challenge you here, okay? But what we're going to do here is I want you to think about these questions. I'll give you like a minute or two to write them down. And then I think what we're going to do is, since my partner is here.
Hey.
So we're going to have you, we're just going to teach straight through. We're going to try to hit these hard. Then what we'll do is we're going to shut off the live stream and we're going to work with you guys intensely.
Ooh,
is that good for everybody?
We got that private session.
Yes, it'll be the private session. Okay? So, Ali, I need you to open up your mic on the live stream because I don't hear you.
Open up my mic on the live stream. Sure. Give me a hot second.
Okay. So, thank you, Jose. Let me see. All right. Okay. So focus on posting and not the things that matter. That's number 1. Okay? That's number 1. So Ali, if you want to contribute to that question, I know you're kind of fixing some stuff.
Yeah, I missed the question because I was hooking everything up. Just so you know, my stream mic everything is connected and open, so I'm not sure.
Okay, sweet. So,
what was the question?
What we were doing, the first topic was their focus for networking, their focus on posting and not the things that matter, meaning income producing activities. They're still in hobby mode or business mode. They're not in company mode. And all of that, because they're working on the lack of income producing and they're all over the place, that affects them when they're networking because they're not confident in the back end. They know that they want the person, but they don't have the systems and container to scale and grow. It's not safe for them. So in their mindset, right?
Yeah.
They're not able to do that. And so they're not building a brand, okay? Because they're just posting. Posting doesn't mean that you're building a brand, guys. It just means you're posting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
so,
I can
share whatever you want on that.
Yeah, well, so there, and I think it's funny. Like we were in 3 separate webinars or trainings between yesterday and today, and this has been like the topic that keeps coming back up, and I appreciate it because there's a misunderstanding of branding versus marketing. That's the very first thing, right? We all think that branding and marketing is the same exact thing, but it is not. You know, Gucci and Louis Vuitton don't do a commercial when the NBA game on, right? There's a reason for that. It's because they understand we don't need to market. Like our brand is established. There's an equity to it. A marketing is I gotta make sure there's a distribution mechanism of this message and get it in front of the right eyes or as many eyes as possible. Now, marketing is still required, but Gucci, when you are sitting on the first class flight in Emirates, you will see a magazine of Gucci, content in there. If you're, in the right places, because they know this is our audience that has to see us, right? But the problem that I'm seeing in the marketplace is that everybody's like, I just got to do more marketing. No, what you need is more branding. If I were to Google your name right now, I'll go incognito, right? Not well, you're a cookie dough. I'll go incognito and I'll Google your first and last name. I guarantee you, here's what I'm gonna see for 99% of the people: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and whatever random website that was associated with you, God knows how long ago. That means you have no brand equity. No one is saying like, my God, this is the person that I've been looking for my whole life, right? So I share that to let you know it's important and imperative. If you have the ability to get yourself on the right platforms, get into podcasts that are already in, the Spotify's, the iHeart, the Audible, get into, get a couple of press releases going out there. Make sure that when I Google your name, Fox and ABC and CBS comes up. That is a third-party validation that makes me say, whoa, if I'm going to work with anybody, I want a documented person. So essentially, getting your story not just marketed, but documented at a high level. Now, with that being said, it also can't be a gimmick and hype. I don't know about you, but there's, especially in the PR world, right? I'm sure you've gotten it as much as I've gotten it. Somebody will send you a direct message somewhere. We are featuring the top women of 2025, and for only $1,500, we'll feature you. And guess what? Elena Cardone is going to be featured, and Oprah is going to be featured. Those are blogs, first of all, and they just create random names, and they, it's a scam, unfortunately. And I tell every single person, make sure that you are doing business with an accredited media platform, not with just a blog. Because me and you right now, Clinton, we can do the Ali and Clinton daily news on a WordPress, and we can make it look perfect like a news outlet. And we can start selling, hey, we're going to feature in our article. And the worst part of it all, we can use a bot from Pakistan and just flood up the analytics and be like, oh, look at this. We got 13,000 people reading our stuff each day. So how do you know the fluff from the real? If it's not ABC, CBS, the Fox News, the CW, I don't care what is your relationship about news, but I want to get in the news outlet that is accredited and documented. I want to get on audible.com. I want to get on iHeartRadio. So when the big names are featured, I pop up here and there. I show up. That is branding versus marketing. I don't want to be marketed. I want to be branded. I want people to think about me as a specialty restaurant, not the diner that's affordable. Let's call it for what it is. How many of us would agree? I would much rather go to that 12-seater, 12 tables restaurant specialty that everybody's waiting for 3 months. The diner, man, I can go 24/7. I don't value it as much because what? It's affordable and always available, and I'll get to it when I get to it. But if I have the opportunity, in here in the town that I live, there's a restaurant called Frangelica's. 6 months in advance. And sometimes they'll send you an email. They have a celebrity, so they have to move your date. Would you like this date or that date? And we go, and last time we went, I'll never forget it. I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, Frangelica's. We're 6 of us. We finally made it. Mama, we made it. And then the bill hit, and it's $1,800 for 6 people. And I'm like, I mean, I knew this was big time, but like, what is this? I know what I ate. I could have made at home, not this good. But guess what? It was because the brand was up here. They established if you make it here, you can make it anywhere. And the reason I needed to go to that restaurant wasn't make myself feel good, because I knew the tables around me were big ballers. And all I needed to get in here and say, hey, how you doing, Ali? Yep, I live around the corner. What's going on? Oh, you play golf around town? Okay. Hey, is that your car out there? We need to talk, man. And it was the best networking opportunity I've ever had, because I knew if you were to spend $1,800 on dinner, you had $50,000 to spend on a business deal. branding. If I go to a diner where everybody's looking to spend $15 to $30 on a family of four, and nothing wrong with that, folks. Some of you in here, I know, and you know me, and I know you. I was homeless for 3 years in a third world country. I don't come from money. So, but what I'm telling you is, I don't go to the diner with the expectation that I'm about to find my next $10,000. I go to the diner just because I have no time to go anywhere else, and I just wanted a quick pancake, quick egg, give me my coffee, and let me out. You need to be a specialty restaurant, branding, not the diner that's competing with all the other diners in the neighborhood. And in social media, that's what most people do. When I ask people, like, what do you do? Well, what we do is very different than the masses. And what differentiates us? But stop. I don't even care what you do, because you just said what everybody else is saying. But I'm different. Aren't we all? But how do I know that? You need third-party branding validation. And I think I hammered it on. We usually do like hours-long seminars on this, but I try to. Sorry, I got too passionate on that one. I'll pass it back to you, Tanya.
Oh, we love passion here. We love passion here. That means that you guys are safe with us. When you know somebody is passionate about what they do, that there is a conviction there, you know that this is their life. Like they are living it, they are breathing it, and it is what it is. So I love the passion. And just as a heads up, even with what Ali said, go to high-end places. So even when I go to networking, I'll pay like $150 to go to have like a dinner and wine and hanging out, and because I know that if somebody is going to do that, then they're ready. They're not here to play games. Like they want to make connection, but they're ready to move forward, right? So okay, number 2, afraid to be seen. This is gonna help you in your networking, okay? So the first one was focused on posting and not the income producing things or the things that matter. I would rather you be able to build a brand and be in ABC, NBC News, Fox, and all of that than have to spend all this time, right, doing that. The other thing you guys could do just really quick before we move on is getting on other people's podcasts. Right? And being able to be an expert and teach and all that, and take those reels. This is income producing, right? Because now you're taking that content and you're making reels, and people are seeing you speak and teach as an expert. Or the classes that you're doing. Let's just say we have a class right now. Inside of Alignable, we're allowing people in the Christ-centered group to host their own class. So when you're doing it, this is free, right? Why do you think we're on social? Anybody want to guess? Why are we on social and not just on Zoom? We're on here because we're going to make these clips and we are going to put them out there. If we are going to do this and you guys are not paying for this content or this mentorship or coaching, I'm sorry, we are going to put ourselves out there in another way as well, in the middle of us doing what we love.
What we love.
Make it productive.
I like how you said that. What we love.
Make it productive, right? Okay, so afraid to be seen. Okay? Afraid to be seen. Believe it or not, most people have issues with being afraid to be seen. I'm talking about you want to get on, you want to get on, be in business or whatever, but you're a little nervous. You're not sure if people are going to buy. You're not as confident. So guess what? You're just a little nervous to be seen. You want to put everybody first. So there's a confidence issue here. You want to grow, but you don't want to grow too much because naturally you self-sabotage. I don't know. I've been there. I've been there. Okay. And so we tend to be afraid. This could even be, I want to be married, but I'm afraid to go out on a date or go on a dating app or do whatever. Because internally, you're not healed. And guess what? People will feel that. They'll feel the lack of confidence. Okay. Ali, do you want to share anything on that before we go?
Yeah. If you feel the way that Tanya just mentioned, there is deeper trauma that you've never dealt with. Trauma doesn't mean that you were abused as a child. Trauma may be just a teacher who says, what do you think? You're going to be a rich person? That just trauma is a bad past pain that we are reliving in the current moment. So whatever help that you need to get over that hump, because you're oppressing your own greatness. You're stopping your magic. I cannot even stress that enough. Like, and we deal with people that are happy, comfortable, and then we get people that come here in our studios. I'm like, all right, we're gonna shoot a couple of reels, and they're like nervous, shaking. I'm like, dude, it's a cell phone in front of you. Just speak into it. Like, I know, I'm just nervous. Okay, you need me to leave? And they get all terrified because the idea of speaking in front of somebody, or the idea of looking good or being great. We all have that one friend that says, little. Look at you with your little car and your little club and your little studio. Look at you with your little watch, right? They try to little business, right? They try to kill your potential because they don't have it in them to do something great. You want to know how good the people around you are? Tell them about a phenomenal, almost scary idea that you're going to pursue, and watch their insecurities show up. Hey man, I'm about to have a 6-pack in the next 6 months. Bruh, get out of here, man. What do you think you are? Like, they start just promoting their own insecurities, their own fear. So I know, I, like the rest of everybody, I'm a human. Before I get on any stage, I get this like first 30 seconds of my heart is like beating out of my chest. I'm like, why? Because I've had moments in the past where somebody laughed at me and threw me off in the first 30 seconds, or somebody gave me like, just threw me off. But you got to get over that, because your greatness is needed in this world. There's people who are dependent on you. So some of us, like, just let opportunities go, and we think it's not gonna work out. Oh, maybe he's not gonna want to do business with me. So what? Is he spending money in your company right now? The answer is no. If I talk to him and he says no, did anything change? The answer is no. So guess what? I would much rather take my odds and move forward and ask somebody for that business, or ridicule myself in a moment with somebody that I know for a fact I'm never going to see again. It's like when somebody's like, well, let me just think about it and I'll get back to you. You know what I say to them? With all the respect, John, in my career of 17 years, $2 billion of sales, and companies that I've taken public, I've never had one person who thought about it, called me back, said, here's my credit card. It just never happened. So with the risk that I'm never going to see you again, I want to know, what can we do right here, right now to change? Let me think about it, to let me buy from you right now. That's how I handle it. And if they say, bro, I just don't want to buy from you, cool. That could have been the outcome, but at least I can go to sleep tonight knowing that I've exhausted every opportunity for you to be so blessed to take advantage of my greatness. All right, back to you, Tanya.
I love it. Yes, guys. So how do you realize
this?
I used to do this. I'd get my first five figures, and then I kind of self-sabotage a little bit, and then I'd make 10, and then I self-sabotage a little bit, and then I remember when I made my first 6 figures, and I was like, oh crap. Oh my gosh. All these people need me. What am I supposed to do? Like, God, where am I supposed to take them? I'm a pioneer. I'm a visionary. Oh my goodness. And I'm duly anointed. So commissioned as an apostle prophet, as well as being a part owner and my own owner in like up to 7 companies. Okay. Ali and I are partnerships on everything that we do. And so his lovely wife. And then my husband's coming. He's looking for me, right? He's looking. And so we just when he comes in, he's gonna be blessed. Okay. And he's gonna take it further in Jesus' name. Hallelujah. All right. And so with that being said, I would constantly go up and then down, and then up and then down. So if you're realizing that you've hit a certain point of self-sabotage, you have probably an issue with being seen. If you're nervous to go on live stream and to do some other stuff, you're nervous on being seen. Okay? If you're not sure if you want to post on your personal page, you have an issue with being seen. Okay? If you're in a room with others in a networking room, and you see that there's some heavy hitters, or they might have their stuff together, you might have an issue with being seen. you're naturally going to self-sabotage and not realize it. Okay. We want to make room for the Q&A, so we're going to quickly along. Number three, that'll stop you in being able to connect, make money, and network. Neediness. Neediness will make you have no boundaries or standards. Does that resonate with everybody? You will feel if you have a neediness, meaning, oh my gosh, I gotta go, oh my gosh, I need to make this money, oh my gosh, I gotta feed my family, I gotta do this, or whatever that I need this person to validate, because if this person buys my stuff, then guess what? Then I have a viable product. That place of neediness will make you accept any sale, any contract you'll be subject to, and you'll find yourself in all types of pointless networking rooms that do not profit, they're not healthy, and they're not sustainable for your growth. But you'll do it because you have no standards or boundaries. And sometimes we don't even realize that our boundaries are not there. We'll even do something that we're just like, it's skating right between, good and not so good. Have you ever had someone where like there was a contract or something, an agreement, and it was questionable? Like you're like, but if, and you're trying to work this thing because it's a 15, 20 grand or 10 grand, and you're trying to figure, and you're almost to the point where you don't realize you're compromising, or you could be compromising. Again, no boundaries, right? Or standards. So again, we have a lot of questions that you can ask or the answer for yourself in the worksheet that we gave. But Ali, neediness, no boundaries or standards. Go.
Neediness, no boundaries or standards. Where do I begin? My wife is not on, right?
No, no, but I'm on.
Story, so I gotta make sure.
But I'm on, and I got her back.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad. No, I know. But I'm just saying, I want to make sure that I say it in a way it's supposed to be said, instead of me trying to extra please my wife.
Go for it.
My wife and I are high school sweethearts. I've met her in November of 2022. And love first sight. I almost fought people who never even existed because I thought they were going to talk to her in the future. That's how much I was like, that's the one, I'm going to get married. And I was so hardcore chasing and I got to take you out and giving her my homework every single morning on homeroom. And anything you could imagine I did, I was doing. So much so that I was lucky on Mother's Day that 2023 we went out. And then first of all, I lied to all my friends. I was like, man, we spent the night. I'm the man. Everything was great. We just had a coffee by the boardwalk and came back home. That's it. So in my mind, man, I closed. She comes on Monday morning and she gives me a note in front of those very same friends who were expecting a kiss that says, hey, I think it's better that we're friends. It's the worst thing that can happen to
Jones. But anyways, I tell you this, that